On February 28, I was in Quezon City in Metro Manila for some important things to deal with in my campus, the University of the Philippines, Diliman. The second semester of academic year 2023-2024 has already begun weeks ago, actually, and the course I am enrolled in utilizes the blended learning method, which means some classes are face to face, some classes are online, and some classes are asynchronous, in which we just have our own individual assignments and exercises to work on, and then we just have to submit them on deadline. On this specific day, though, I don't have a class, but there was an event in the campus that I wanted to go to because I'm now looking at options for myself for postgraduate studies. So on the late morning of February 28, I booked myself a Grab car and returned to campus. This road right here is EDSA, the famous EDSA with the famous traffic. Right now, our lane is pretty much free and clear, but the lanes going the other way seem to be having a traffic buildup already. It's the middle of the week, so it's kind of expected, but I'm assuming that it's much worse on Monday mornings all over. This is the event that I wanted to attend in the UP campus. This is the Study Abroad Fair, which is spearheaded by the UP International Linkages Office. I will link their official Facebook page in the description box. This fair actually started the previous day and it ran until March 1, but I wasn't in Metro Manila yet on the previous day, February 27. And the universities here on this day are the same ones that were present on the previous day, so it's all good. For February 27 and 28, the focus was on universities in Europe, North America, South America, and Africa. And by the way, I am editing this video already several days late because I have had a bad cold since about 5 days ago. Maybe I am no longer used to Metro Manila. Anyway, here I am in the School of Statistics where the event is. So it's just a small venue. There are enough booths, one booth for each country. I got some brochures and free merch from the booths, and I also talked to representatives and advisors and consultants of some of them. They were all very helpful. So it was actually a quick errand for this part of the day, and I got the basic information that I needed together with some contact details. And then I decided to drop by the registrar's office, which was just across the street from the School of Statistics, because I needed to claim my new school badge with the RFID chip. In one of my previous vlogs from October, I think, I will link it down below, I dropped by here to get my picture taken for the new ID. And now, on my next trip back to campus, I was already able to get my new ID badge. This is it. It has an RFID feature, like I said. It's very nice, quite minimalist, and it can also work as an e-wallet basing on these instructions. Very nice. Now, my next task is, of course, lunch. It is just a short walk from the registrar's office to this food place right here, which is the closest. There are so many different food places inside the campus, by the way, not only this, but this one just happens to be the closest. And for now, because I might have to show my new ID badge for later, I just kept it here together with my person with disability ID. It is almost high noon, but there is some wind and everyone is under the shade, so it's okay. I ordered a hot dog with fried egg and rice with a cold drink in a bottle. I finished my lunch quickly and had time to spare before my next task, so I stayed a little while to read on my Kindle. This book that I'm reading is called The Seven and a Half Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle, a novel by Stuart Turton. After about 20 minutes, I decided to start walking back to the Study Abroad Fair because there were information sessions scheduled all afternoon on that day, starting at 1 o'clock. And it did start on time, but turns out that the information that I needed was already given during the first hour of the information sessions for the afternoon. So I was able to step out very discreetly and have a quick walk to the next task, which was to look for one specific book from the main library. And because it was still noon, I decided to cut through this building right here on the way to where I was going. Now, I was a doofus for not checking online for any updates at all about the UP's library system. Because I've always kind of had this belief that things will never really change because they have already been working this way for decades. And this is the UP, which is perpetual in many, many ways. So I didn't know at this point that the building that I was walking to was actually not the building that I should be going to, but it was nice to be walking around with all of these students in the corridors. So come, take a walk with me with the original sound on so you can get a feel of the place. This is the Pavilion Building. And this is Palmer Hall. That's Palmer Hall where I just came from. And finally, I am at the main library building, which, because like I said, I didn't check first before coming here. I found out only then at that moment that the building was under repair. The main library has a temporary location for the moment, and so I had no choice but to walk there. But while on the way, I passed by the Kalanuu building, which is not really new anymore. It's been there for years, but it's called the Kalanuu building. And I know that this Kalanuu building had a library at the ground floor, and I thought maybe they had the book I needed, so I wouldn't have to go to the temporary location of the main library anymore. This is the online public access system of the library, which, by the way, we can access from any computer from anywhere. The listings of each library on campus is open to the public. I have already experienced checking the library access system before actually coming to campus, so I would know which library to go to before actually even leaving the house. So this is the book that I needed. There are 4 copies. None of them are in this library I am in, but 3 of them are in the main library, which is temporarily being housed in a different building. It wasn't too far, so come walk with me. And finally, we are here. Here are the QR codes for the library's web services. You can see the listings from wherever you are via these websites. It is super helpful if I do remember to use it. I gave my little call slip to the person in the information desk, and he placed a call to where the book stacks actually were. We cannot access the stacks here. This is just a reading room, as you can see. While waiting for the book I needed, just on a whim, I also looked up my novel on the catalog and saw that they had 2 copies of it in the main library. My other 3 books, previously published years ago, are also in the UP library system. That's nice to know. It was just a short wait, it wasn't crowded, and finally I got an email confirming that I am borrowing a specific book, and then someone came out with the physical book and handed it to me. I'm due to return it on March 13, but I actually don't plan to keep this book with me for long. There were no public transportation passing through in this area, so I had to book another grab car to go to Blessings to get the book photocopied. The UP allows books to be photocopied because it's for educational purposes, so it falls under fair use. We are just not allowed to sell copies of the book for profit, but photocopying is allowed if it's for study. Because the book is out of print. Not even an ebook is available for sale. I would have purchased the ebook in a hot minute because I do prefer ebooks now, but the ebook is out of print as well, apparently. So I just opted for the photocopy because I didn't really have any other choice. Blessings now has the high-tech receipt system, which is very cool. The photocopy cost 270.40 Philippine pesos. And I had to leave the book there and pick it up in a day or two. I did not ask for a rush job because I knew I'd be coming back to campus anyway. My tasks on campus for the day was pretty much done already at this point, so I decided to go home. But I had to make one last stop on the way to my brother's house where I was staying. I had to drop by the department store near my brother's house because I forgot to bring my bath mittens from home, so I decided to just buy new ones. But they didn't have it here. Only these ones, which I have tried before but didn't really like, so I thought I might just try this one instead. These are not mittens, but it might work just as well. Another thing that I forgot to pack was my styling mousse. I have exactly this one for volume and curl definition, and I really like it. My hair has been super straight since birth, but since maybe December or November, it has started to become wavy. It's very strange, but I read somewhere that sometimes perimenopause can have that effect. I actually don't mind. It's nice to have wavy hair for a change, so I used a mousse to volumize the hair and define the curl, which for wavy hair means only the wave is more defined. This does not make wavy hair curly. It just defines the wave and adds volume to the hair. But while I was there anyway, I also looked at other options because I want maximum volume and maximum wave for a change. Some of these products are only for curl definition and doesn't mention that they add volume. But then I saw this one that says it defines curls but also adds bounce. And it's an essence, not a mousse, and it's much cheaper than my current mousse that I forgot to pack. And this one is even cheaper, and it's a lotion. I don't even know if it's much different from the essence, but somehow I opted for the essence instead. And then after paying, it was time to grab a quick bite. ended up ordering the beef shawmai with rice from Henlin. Beef shawmai is just beef dumplings that we can garnish with this sauce, which is called toyo. I didn't put the calamansi anymore, that small round green thing over there, because my dentist advised me to stay away from sour food, among other things, to minimize dry mouth, which is yet another thing going on with me because of perimenopause. I was able to get home to my brother's house in almost no time, and I took a break. I took a short nap. But then I had to attend a webinar on Zoom that started at 7 o'clock in the evening. And here we are, just wrapping up the webinar by 8:30 p.m., right on schedule. After dinner, people went to their bedroom, and I stayed in the living room a little while longer just to decompress after quite a long day. And I actually just arrived at before 5 a.m. on this same day via the overnight bus from Naga City, where I live. So I am kind of still lacking some sleep. I have had no recovery day yet, which I usually need after a long trip. But on this evening, I was able to read more of the Seven and a Half Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle, which is quite good, by the way. I will have my 5-minute book talk about this very soon on my channel. The day after, which was February 29, I decided had to be my recovery day. Although I spent much of the day reading, I also did manage to squeeze in a couple of hours of work that I needed to do in connection with the study abroad options. But on the day after that, which was March 1, I left my brother's house in the mid-afternoon to go back to campus. I went back to Blessings to get back the book and the photocopy. And right near Blessings, there are also these small shops over here that are not really new. They have been here for a few years and I have seen them, but I have actually never been inside any of them. So let's walk along this area. I decided to dash quickly into the convenience store and get myself a cold drink for later. And then I went back to the temporary location of the main library to return the book. And then I went to the study abroad fair again because this was their last day and the focus was on universities in Asia and Oceania. I was targeting one country only from this day and I got the information that I needed, but I also picked up a few more flyers and brochures. Now, I was a little hungry. I feel like I'm always hungry. So I dropped by the canteen that I knew was here in this building, but there was no pasta available, just coffee, and I did not need coffee. So I decided to just look for a place to eat that was closer to where I needed to be next. Again, I cut through this building right here. This is my college, by the way. I'm from the College of Arts and Letters, but I have already brought you here before. There are so many cats on campus. This is just one of them, laying here like a queen. All of the cats are being taken care of, but there's just not enough funds for their food and upkeep. So there is a fundraising for the cats of the campus. I will link their Facebook page in the description box. Over there is the Department of History where I needed to be at 5 o'clock for a class. And over here are the places to eat. Ate, magkano po yung mango? 50 pesos. Sige, pa-order pong isa. Maya, mango tape! I ordered a tuna pasta, an egg sandwich, and this mango graham shake. By the time I was done eating, it still was too early for my 5 o'clock class, but I decided to go to the classroom anyway and settle in. This is our classroom already prepared for us. I am the first one here, apparently. And inside, there is this very interesting map which has its own website. I will link this down below for you in case you're interested. While waiting, I continued reading a different book on my Kindle. This is called Benevolent Assimilation by Stuart Miller. I will link this for you in the description box as well. And the class actually started almost on time, give or take 10 minutes, which is pretty normal because people were coming from different parts of the campus and different parts of Metro Manila. But we did get a break in the middle of the 3 hour class. Our professor had pizza delivered, and I finally got to drink the drink that I bought from the convenience store earlier. Class finished half an hour early because the discussion was brisk and we were able to cover everything that was scheduled for that day. Here are more cats. And finally, I am back in my brother's house. Here is a photocopy of the book, and I still have some of that cold drink left over. And that's it. I have returned to campus thusly.